Good morning, everybody. Mo Davis, the Travis Outsider. I've taken a while to just kind of put together my trauma pieces and gather myself over the last few days. A lot's been going on. And among the many triggering things is, of course, what's going on in the Israeli-Palestinian dispute, if we want to call it a dispute, because disputes usually are equal, and this seems to be 1,000% one-sided. I see all these creators talking about abuse. I see all these creators talking about indigenuity and, recognition of land and how important it is to stay in solidarity with the truth. As many of you know, I am Egyptian. I'm an Egyptian native indigenous woman who is born and raised in North America, Canada specifically. And I really want to address a few things that I've been observing, but more importantly, I want to discuss a few things. My main observation is, for the first time ever, I see a lot of ally communities speaking up. And that is wonderful, because it's about damn time that this discussion becomes mainstream. 75 years of the G word and apartheid should have been discussed for the entire 75 years. But we're all aware of the dehumanization of non-YT soup people and non-YT people and non-YT priv people. And we are aware of just the system that we live in. The propaganda, the control of the media. But in this day and age where everything is accessible on your fingertips or at your fingertips, where you can literally search anything, if the only sources you search are North American or Israeli sources, then you are part of the YT soup problem. Because this is not about people returning to their land. This is about the continuing of YT colonization, supremacy, and takeover. You often hear the term anti-Semitic. To understand what that term means, you need to understand what Semite means. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a Semite is a member of any of the peoples who speak or spoke a Semitic language, including in particular the Jews and Arabs. I'm quoting the Oxford Dictionary. Webster goes on to take that part and then add to it in part B, descendants of these people. And a second section saying, member of a modern people speaking Semitic language. That means Arabs are Semites, for those of you unaware. So technically, unless if Arabs are anti-Arab, they can't really be anti-Semitic. Now that you know better, and you have information according to Oxford and Webster dictionaries, let's discuss this issue a bit more. It's important to recognize that throughout thousands of years of history, people will convert religions. People will migrate. And I see you all, you evangelists, saying these people were pushed out by the Roman Empire, perhaps, but not necessarily by the Arabs. Do you know why? Because even in Islam, those who were targeted historically by Islamic genocide and conquering were pagan, not Semites. not of the monotheistic Abrahamic religions. This is for educational purposes only. No bullying or harassment intended. But it's really important to recognize the facts from the feelings of this entire dispute. Further to all this, if people eventually convert, what does that mean about the Palestinian population? It means that Palestinians were Christian, Jewish, and Muslims long before the creation of Israel. In fact, Egypt also had a huge population of Jewish people before the creation of Israel. We share a border. They eventually migrated. It's important to know that there's a tier system of who has rights in Israel based on their ethnic background, despite them all being Jewish. Let me be perfectly clear. This is not about Jewish individuals. This is about a political Zionist movement, which is a highly violent and genocidal one that continues to perpetuate harm everywhere it goes. And to be perfectly clear, the founders of Zionism were not Jewish. They may have worn the badge of being Semites and conflicted it with being Jewish. But no practicing Jewish Muslim founded that. I invite you to do further research. You literally have all information at the tip of your fingertips. There is no reason for us to continue to perpetuate a narrative that is not true in 2023. To our Black allies, especially those who are opening their eyes, thank you for realizing that this is South Africa 2.0 on steroids. To our Indigenous brothers and sisters, thank you for seeing that this is an Indigenous and land back matter. I'm not Palestinian. I'm Egyptian. I grew up with so many Palestinians in my life that I loved that suffered so much and lost so much because of this war. Stop telling Arabs or anyone speaking against the Israeli apartheid and gene of Palestinian people. Stop saying that they're just babbling and dehumanizing Israelis, when the fact is the Israeli military, the Israeli president have referred to Palestinian human beings, primarily children, by the way. The majority of the population, because the death rate is so high, is actually children. And they refer to them as animals. Dirty, savage animals. In 2023, we call humans, children, animals. Be kind to each other, support one another, but especially in this case, stand up for each other, stand up for what is right. Do the right thing. A lot of people are hurting in ways you could never imagine. Before I forget, free Palestine.